Today, the U.S. military reported more airstrikes against ISIS terrorists in Syria. The attacks were carried out with Arab allies. The targets included ISIS compounds near Raqqa, the ISIS capital, and a terrorist training camp. Holly Williams got inside Syria with Kurdish forces fighting ISIS on the ground.
We crossed the river Tigris into Syria. And in under an hour, that's the last town that's under Kurdish control. Our convoy came under fire. We took cover in a village of mud brick huts. Nearly all of the residents have fled the fighting. Our cars just came under fire as we were driving along that road over there. We've taken shelter in this village, Mahmoudin. ISIS positions are about a mile in that direction and they're trying to capture the village. But Commander Omran Hussein is still here and he led us to safety. Hussein has just 40 soldiers. 10 of them are women, some of them teenagers. It's not enough, the commander told us, but they're all I have. Are your female soldiers, are they good fighters? There's no difference between the men and the women, he said. Some of the women are better fighters than I am. At just 19 years old, Akina Akin is already battle-hardened. ISIS has kidnapped women. We hear many reports of them raping women, of them forcing women to marry their commanders. Are you frightened about what might happen if you're captured? I'm not afraid, she told us. I'll blow myself up before I let them catch me. The fighters in Mahmoudin are Kurdish Syrians. Like ISIS, they're Muslims, but they practice a very different version of Islam. That's not the real Islam, she said. I'm a Muslim too, and there's nothing in the Quran about killing children and women. They're committed, but they're desperately under-equipped. Their guns are all either captured from ISIS or bought on the black market. 25 miles away is the town of Ramallah, the regional capital, where life goes on despite the presence of ISIS on their doorstep. It's a Muslim community, but a place so moderate we found one man selling a Christmas tree. In ISIS territory, selling a Christian symbol like this one would get him arrested, or worse. The head of the regional government is Hadiya Yusuf, a democracy activist who spent 2 years locked up in a Syrian government prison. She welcomes the US airstrikes, but she's frustrated. Are you saying that the Americans are hitting the wrong targets? We don't think they're the right ones, she said. They're not effective. Since the airstrikes began, she told us, ISIS has become more mobile and its fighters no longer gather in large groups. Back on the front line, Commander Hussein agrees that the airstrikes haven't achieved much so far. Tell America we need weapons, he said. If we can't defeat ISIS, their next target will be Europe and the US. The Kurdish fighters are managing to hold off ISIS in northeastern Syria, and they're doing so mainly with light arms, while ISIS has artillery and armoured vehicles that it captured from the Iraqi military just over the border. In contrast, Scott, the only Kurdish armoured vehicle we saw was a homemade one that had been improvised from an old bulldozer.
Holly Williams in Erbil, northern Iraq tonight. Holly, thank you.